All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 8:55 Eastern Time down here in beautiful, dark, gloomy Florida. All right, and since I repeat, I cannot say thank you to every single one of you guys that are here already, and the many that will come later on the stream. I'd like to politely and elegantly roll out that long red carpet for every single one of you guys that are already here and for everyone that will appear as time goes by on this stream. All right. So, big heads up to every single one of you guys. Love, respect, and blessings to every single one of you. I do highly appreciate for every single one of you guys to be here. It does mean a lot to me. And I mean, obviously, it's been over a year now, right? And I'm gonna show my face in a second, but it's been over a year since I have been interviewing predator catchers on this channel, and it all started with Polo from Predator Poachers Central Florida, right? And I have been blessed time and time again that every single one of them thus far has granted me, the opportunity to get to know them on a deeper level, get to know them, on a more personal level, and share, that same intimacy about their like personal life and even the catching stuff with every single one of you guys. And that has been a true honor. And let me say this before I continue and show my face. Every single predator catcher that I have on here and interview, every single one of them is a great interview. All right. No interview is better than the other. No catcher is better than the other. All right. Let's make that clear from the get go. Okay. The only thing is that, this was a interview that, you know, it's been long overdue. And it's not Ghost's fault. He was trying to do something before we took care of this interview. And respectfully so, I said, sir, I'm not impatient. If anything, I'm one of the most patient people that I know, you know. And I said, whenever the time is, I'll be ready. I'll wait patiently for you to be ready, and we'll make it happen. So, yeah, yeah, I hope so too. So, a few rules and regulations before the stream starts officially, and before I even present ghosts and all that stuff. Please, guys, please, 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 please. I repeat that one last time, please. If you have any questions for Ghost, okay, that maybe I might not ask or whatever, I ask you politely and respectfully to please write those questions down on a piece of paper, okay? Put them on the side and wait until after the interview is over with. That way, we can do things orderly. You're crazy, bro. The reason I say that is because, you know, I, I do my best, to interact with the chat area, on regular streams. But when it comes to interviews, I try to give my full attention to the person I'm interviewing. And it's kind of hard to do when every now and then I'll look to the side just to make sure everything's ordered in the chat area, and I'll see people asking questions, and then it throws me off. So that's almost the only thing I'm going to ask is that you hold all questions until after the interview. And I will say this, just to make sure that I get your questions across. After I'm done with the interview, you know, just kind of say, hey, remember we have questions or whatever. Just write that in the chat area. That way, it's a reminder for me to be like, okay, well, I'm done with my part. I'm gonna give everybody else, the community, a chance to ask questions because I know I'm not gonna be able to ask every single question there is, to ask Ghost. Um, there's many questions that I might not even ask just out of pure respect. But if you guys have any questions that I happen to miss that needed to be asked, then I'll do my best to get through all those questions after the interview, and we'll do our best. Okay. Before I bring Ghost on here, yeah, hopefully I do remember. Before I bring Ghost on here, I'm gonna share, okay, for the people that don't know who he is, because believe it or not, even though within the community we all know who he is, um, at the same time, there's many people that might stop by that don't know who he is. All right. So first things first. All right. He is a YouTube content creator. Okay, that has been catching online child predators and pedophiles for over a year now. Okay, has a strong following of 100 over 116. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. 116,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm not even going to get into the whole Instagram and the other stuff he's got going on. But let's just say he has a strong support, and way over 200 catches already, I believe. But I'm gonna let him get into all that when we bring it on here. All right. So I kind of have to say this just because, by the way, I appreciate that $5 donation. RG asks, as Ghost if he wears boxers or briefs and if he could raffle off an autograph pair. I'm gonna save that for last. Just make sure you write that one down and save it for later. But yeah, guys. So that's CC Unit's YouTube page right there. All right, that's his channel. All right, let me just show my face real quick. All right, so I'm not looking great. So I have a hat on today. I've got the jacket on today. I was not able to get a haircut for y'all, but we're doing the best we can with what we got. So that being said, I'm gonna kind of like take this out real quick, and let me just make sure on this side that we're good to go. Just make sure. Oh my goodness. Just doing a double check. Nice. I appreciate that, sir. I think. All right. So everything being said, I'm gonna try my best to not do a lot of talking because I do want to give Ghost the opportunity to obviously, like say his piece and explain things to the best of his abilities. And I don't want to be the center of attention tonight, as I always try to do with every single one of my guests when I bring them on here. All right, Ghost, give me a nod if you're ready, bro. All right. So that being said, I present to you tonight's guest on the channel. None other than the yearly long awaited interview of our boy Ghost here from CC Unit.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you been?
What's going on, brother, man? What's all this going on? What do you got going on here on top of your head, bro?
Hey, so it's a tradition. We have to wear this before we go into something, and then we take it off, and then we put it back on at the very end. So I had to begin the interview with wearing this, and then like right after I just introduce myself, I'll take it off.
I don't know why, but it looks like like if Alex were to grow a beard into his like late 80s and cut it all off, that's how it would probably look on top of your head. That's what it looks like you're wearing on top of your head right now. Alex's beard, future beard.
It's like a Dagestani Russian hat.
You're right. It does look like one of them hats.
So that's what it is. Yeah.
Ghost, before we start officially, bro, I want to give you thanks. I want to give you love and say thank you for saying yes to this interview. I mean, it's been over a year, and like I said, what I told everybody earlier, I'm a very patient man. I do not mind waiting for good things. And this indeed is one of those good things that I was willing to wait even a few months more if I had to So I want to thank you in advance for saying yes in advance, because you did say yes a long time ago, but finally we're here. So thank you for that. I do appreciate everything you do. I appreciate, along with the community here, everything that you've done for the community, for the kids, all right, for the would-be possible victims of these crimes that you know, obviously help interfere. And I do appreciate how swiftly you respond to messages, because I know you get a bunch of messages through all social media platforms. So the fact that you even, you know, see my messages and you respond back to them as fast as you do, I do appreciate that as well, man. Go
Thank,
ahead.
thank you so much, bro. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I, when I give my word, I stick to it. And I told you that I would, I would give you an interview. But I said I wanted to convict this high school teacher that we caught, just so it gave us a little more flavor and a little more stuff to talk about on the interview. But unfortunately, the guy, he's delaying the legal process and stuff. So it is what it is. Don't. But we have plenty of other things to talk about and plenty of other things, bunch of other convictions and arrests as well. So we don't have to wait on him. So, but yeah, man, like I said, I'm here now, and I think this is the perfect time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, like I said, even if I had to like wait, you know, until that happened, I really didn't mind. But before we get into all the predator catching stuff, because I mean that's kind of like the main thing we're here for as well. At the same time, though, I do kind of want people to get to know you on a more personal level, on a more, you know, intimate level. You know, get to know the man behind the mask. You know, without having to do a face reveal, nothing like that, and give everybody the opportunity to kind of like say, okay, well, you know, I kind of understand that he's a regular human being like every single one of us. You know, the only thing is, or the only difference is that he goes out there on the field, possibly putting your life on the line many times, doing what you do, and not only that, not only saying, "Hey, we got to do something about, you know, this crime, and we got to do something to protect the kids," but actually, you know, actively going out there and doing something about it. So, to start things off, man, one of the first questions I have for you. Okay, well, before we get to those questions, before I say any of this, let me just ask you this: Are you comfortable? All right, because I don't want to like ask this or, you know, put you on the spot or whatever. But are you comfortable, or is it okay for you to like state at least your first name? That way, you know, if people ask or whatever, like, is his real name Ghost, or, you know, what did they name him Ghost when he was born? What happened? Is it on his certificate? Does it say Ghost? And I'll be like, nah, it's probably something else like Jose or Luis or something like that. That's only if you're comfortable, bro. You don't have to, but if you feel comfortable with sharing at least your first name, you can. If you don't, it's fine. We can skip that.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I stay anonymous for a reason. That's why I go by the name Ghost, just because that's what everyone's known me since I started CC Unit. So I don't want to give away that. Maybe one day people will know, but for right now, I want to just stay as Ghost.
Appreciate that, brother. And
Yeah,
that's completely understandable. That's why I asked that and phrased it the way I did, because I understand, you know what I'm saying, the implications and all that stuff. So for safety reasons, I agree. I was just curious to be, you know, to see, you know, like how you're gonna respond to that. But all right, so to start things off, how old are you, brother? Because I know you're younger than me, and I call you little bro for a reason. You know, I see a lot of things that remind me of you, and vice versa. And you know, how old are you, bro?
I'm 23. Yeah, I'm 23. I just turned 23 like recently. So yeah, but when I first started CC Unit, I was uh I was like late 19 or like early 20. Um, so I started CC Unit 3 years ago. So I was either just turned 20 or I was like about to turn 20. So yeah, I started it back in 2018, but I'm 23 years old now. So
Damn, bro, that's like the inverse or the reverse of my age. I'm 32, so 23, flip it around, 32. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. All right.
exactly.
So now, yes, to start things off officially, my brother. All right. tell us a little bit about yourself, all right, as far as your background goes, your upbringing, your household, how, if you have any siblings that, that we're not aware of, where did you grow up? How did you grow up? Regular, basic, upbringing, or how would you explain the way you was brought up?
Yeah, so I mean, I was born in Cali. I was born in California. But my bloodline goes back to Afghanistan. But I was born here. I was born in America, in California, San Diego. So I was born here, grew up with mom, dad, had some siblings as well. Just grew up in like a I guess normal environment. Yeah, we grew up all around San Diego, but we moved all around San Diego. So I've been to the east side of San Diego. I've been to North County area. So yeah, San Diego's the hometown. So
Awesome, bro. Awesome. And I kind of figured. I mean, it was kind of obvious. Like one of the first times I seen some of your videos way back when I first even came across your channel to begin with. I'm like, yeah, he's definitely from San Diego area. Like, so you're San, as Ron Burgundy would say, you're a San Diegan. So that's good, bro.
hey, the people who are from San Diego, we call it Dago. Dago.
There you go.
Dago.
Okay. So he wasn't too far off then.
Huh?
He wasn't too far off then.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Oh my goodness. All right, all right. So you had a regular, like simple, loving, like home upbringing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they instill like great morals and values in you because it shows, when you're talking on screen and everything. Do you have any religious background you want to share with us? Just like real quick.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm Muslim.
Hmm.
Believe in Islam. I'm sure you've heard of what Islam is, but yeah, I'm Muslim, and that's just what I grew up in. I grew up in a family of like Muslims, and we believe in Islam. So
All right. And
that's
now, how what's the word I'm looking for? How involved, I guess that'd be like the best phrase, or how pure to it like are you as far as your like you believe and concern about your faith?
yeah. I mean, I'm a practicing Muslim. I don't just I know like I'm not gonna like bash on other religions or other people who. But I'm not like one of those people who just say, "Oh, I'm like Muslim or I'm just Christian," but they don't follow the actual belief of it and they don't follow and practice it. I'm one of the ones who actually do practice it and follow like the religion and the rules and stuff. So yeah, man, like I don't drink, I don't smoke weed, I don't do any of that. I live like a sober life, and I don't gamble, I don't do any of that. I live like a really pure, clean life, and yeah, I mean, I try to pray time to time, and obviously believe in one God, and then yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to get too preachy.
No, 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 you good. I mean, I'm giving you the spot to talk as much as you want about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop you. If you want to talk a little longer about it, you can. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Um, which by the way, before you say anything else, if you want to, that's something that I do respect about you, and I guess what you can call like our friendship, is you're a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I consider myself to be a Christian, and I all I see is you and your good deeds. I see your pure heart, I see your pure mind, your pure soul. Okay, that's what I see when I either talk to you or when I see you on screen or when I see you doing a catch. I just see pure, and I respect that about you, bro. The fact that we don't do this, what I'm saying? Like you don't smoke, you don't drink. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't gamble. You know what I'm saying? I lived a sober life as well. That's why I kind of put hashtag sober gang or sober life a few days ago. I believe in those same things as far as that goes. So I respect you for that, man. But
thank
you want to add anything more to what you were saying, though?
you. I mean, I would go into detail, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't understand. So I just wanted to say kind of like the basics of it.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's just the type of lifestyle I grew up. So.
All right, all right. Yeah, I respect that, bro. All right. So we got the family out the way. We got the upbringing out the way. We got the faith out the way. All right. Now, who is Ghost when it comes to schooling? Are you like in university? Are you thinking of like studying something at the moment? Are you already studying something? And if you are, what is that as
Yeah,
far as
yeah,
education goes? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I do go to college. I do go to college. Um, I'm taking a biology degree, so I'm I'm dealing with a lot of science, math classes, chemistry, physics, organic chemistry, calculus, all of these science and math classes. I can show you my shelf right now. I have textbooks of bio. Here, let me show you. Let me
Go
give
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
you.
That's what we're here for. This is what we're here for, to get to know you better, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So right here, I got my own biology textbook. I got a bunch of stuff. Malcolm X book right here.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
I'm
So
pretty sure you're probably more sharper in that on that book than I am. So I'm gonna, well, one of these days I'm gonna let you preach on that.
yeah, yeah. I actually did a project on Malcolm X.
Nice.
Was in one of my English classes. I had to read a book, so I chose Malcolm X, and I read about him and how he grew up and how his life was. It's a really interesting book, very crazy book, and you should go read it. It's a very, very well book and a well done book and interesting man, very interesting and good human being as well.
What made you pick that one out of millions of books that there is out there? What kind of like propelled you to be like, I think I want to read up on him and the
Yeah,
movement
because
there.
I've always heard like bad stuff about Malcolm X, and I've always heard good stuff about Malcolm X. So I was like, you know what? Let me read about him and see what I think of him. So I read about him, and he actually grew up in like a kind of like a gang kind of lifestyle, and he went to jail for his crimes and stuff. But while he was in jail, he read the Quran, which is the holy book of like Islam.
Yes, sir.
He read that, and then he converted to Islam, and then he became one of the biggest like icons for like the Islam religion and stuff. So it's a really good book. That's why I read about him. He's a he's an icon for sure. He's a very big individual.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody on earth nowadays that you will just briefly mention Malcolm X and they're like, who? I think, you know what I'm saying, that name goes far and beyond history as far as that concerned, like, and the movement that he led and all that. So, I mean, that's awesome, bro, that you uh, obviously has to do with, your religion and your faith and all that. So that's understandable. But the fact that you went as far as to like dig up and read up on that and read up on the man and who he was, and that's awesome, bro. I respect that.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So outside of predator catching and school and biology and all that stuff, like what do you do like for fun, as a hobby or to kind of like, remind yourself that you're a regular human being, that you're not just what you do or you're not what you do with the catches. Like, how do you do to like remind yourself, I'm still pretty much like a teen or whatever? What do you do to relax? What do you do as a hobby? What is Ghost into outside of all that stuff?
Yeah, I like to I mean, I play sports, I work out, I exercise just to keep myself in shape. Exercise. I try to work out every day. Sometimes I don't do it every day, but it's just because I'm very tired some days. But I work out, I go hang out with friends sometimes. I actually have a second channel where I record like narrating scary stories. So I mean that's like a hobby of mine. I just narrate scary stories. I think it's fun. And then like I play basketball, go exercise sports, any normal thing that anybody else does. I do the same thing. So
Awesome, bro. I mean, I think we briefly touched on it not too long ago. I think it was either on your stream or Instagram stream, and you mentioned that you're a point guard, and I was like, all right, well then. We have a good 1-to-1 matchup here because I used to be point guard slash shooting guard. Not in an actual. I'm not gonna sit here and brag like, oh man, I used to be, you know what I'm saying, like varsity, or I used to be blah. Nah, when I used to play, all right, wherever I used to play, on whatever neighborhood or in school or out of school, I would always play either point guard or shooting guard, and sometimes small forward, sometimes. But it would be a good matchup, man. I think people would pay to see that because I got slave feet, man. I got slave feet, so you know what that means. I'm be on you like white on rice. So we'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah, man. I'm down. Oh, here. Hold on. Let me show you something real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was on a. Here's one of my trophies, bro. I was on a basketball team. Hey, I'm not trying to brag. It's just
No,
fact.
no, no, no. You good? You good?
I have a couple medals in basketball. No, no lie. I was decent. I was decent in basketball, but yeah, man. I used to play basketball. Not as much anymore, but when I was a kid, I used to play a lot of basketball.
Nice.
Yeah.
When it comes to basketball, and not to kind of like have a long tangent on this, but out of the two, because I have an older brother, right? And he's the real athlete. Like he's the one that used to be like in little league. He did baseball, he did basketball, he was in a varsity team. He was gonna do like the whole college thing, but he stepped out or whatever. But out of him and me, he's the real athlete, right?
Mhm.
And it's funny because it's kind of like you would think it's only like from a movie, right? Like here we are, my brother and me, right? And he's like the real actual athlete, okay? I'm talking about doing drills and all that and blah blah blah, right? And for whatever reason, I had a better shot than him. You know what I'm saying? I had a better defense, more better than him. I would actually finish. You know what I'm saying? Right there on layups. He had the greatest passes. He had the greatest, like point guard skills, like being able to see plays ahead of time. He used to have like the greatest, what do you call it, crossover skills and all that. And yet, where he lacked, I had, and vice versa. So I'm trying to think, what's going to be the scenario when you and me play one on one? Like, where am I going to lack, and vice versa? Because I have a decent shot. Let's just say it that way. Very, very humble. Like I have a decent shot and a very aggressive defense. So I'm just gonna throw that out there, just letting you know ahead of time.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm kind of the way I play is I'm very high pace. I know like I know how to dribble real well, and I can do layups. I can do threes. I'm mostly good at threes and like layups.
All right, I'm gonna write this down. You said threes and layups. Look out for 3-point shots. All right, okay. I'm gonna study you, bro. You don't even know. Okay, I got people over there. I'm like, yo, just check out when he goes out and plays, and just like take a screen recording and then send it back to me so I can study. So that way, when I go over there, I got him like white on rice. You don't even know, man. I'm gonna get that set up, bro. I'm gonna come out of nowhere like, I'm okay, man. Like I'm not even that good.
I'm humble to defeat. If I lose, hey, may the better man win. But
Ah,
to give my
oh, I wonder who would win, like on an actual like foot race between you. You probably kill me because I've gained a lot of weight. I'll admit to that. I've gained a lot of weight in the last few months, so you probably like kill me running. But on the court might be different. Just saying. All right. So what outside of doing normal everyday team things? Because I mean, you're not an actual team, but in my eyes, I see it that way. You're still very very young. So outside of like playing ball, hanging out with your friends, and all that, what makes Ghost happy? What makes Ghost happy outside of all that? Outside of everything, outside of predator catching, outside of doing schooling, hanging out with friends. Like, what makes you happy as an individual?
helping people. That's always the way I've been. Like whenever I see like when I've always been this way. Whenever I see like a homeless person, I would always donate to them or help them out. And I guess that kind of correlates to how I am with CC unit as well. I help, kids who are, you know, defenseless when it comes to this type of stuff. So I've always been like a person who's always tried to help people, and that's just the way I am. It may if other people, if there's like, if my close ones are happy, like if my family's happy, if my friends are happy, then I'm happy the same way. So yeah, I've always wanted to help people. So
So if I were to paraphrase it, basically, as long as you see those around you happy, then you're happy.
yeah,
Would that be correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right, all right, fair enough. That makes complete sense, sir. And it, I mean, it resonates with myself because, you know, I love seeing like my family doing well, and I'm sure you're aware of like what my father went through a little while ago, the procedure, and his health and all that, and that kind of had me like in a funk, for like a while because, my father's a very active person, and to kind of like see him, like not be as active, and have like slow down and all that, it kind of like put me down for a few. But recently, he's been getting used to like the treatment and the procedure and all that, and transitioning very well. And so now he's active again. He's doing stuff on the computer. He's playing the piano. He's singing. He's talking a lot. And I know when what I'm saying, our parents talk a lot, in a very active and like fun ways because they feel good. They're doing well, and so that made me happy. What I'm saying that. So I feel you, bro. Like if the people around me, especially my family, if they're happy, I'm happy. And if people who I don't know, but they're like in need and their need was fulfilled, that gives me even a bigger joy. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always someone more unfortunate than us. So that being the case, and me seeing that need or necessity like being fulfilled, it puts like a really big joy in my heart. So seeing that you're saying the same thing, I mean, that's awesome, bro. There's not too many people out in the world with that heart, so that's good. All
yeah.
right. So
Thank you, bro.
so what about, what I'm pretty sure I can assume, but I'm not going to, but what upsets you the most? We talked about what makes you happiest, but now what upsets you the most?
It upsets me the most in regards to
Just
what?
like life in general. Just life in general.
I mean, what upsets me the most. I mean, I don't. There's a lot of things I guess that upsets me. I mean, creeps upset me. Greedy people upset me. Selfish people upset me. Scammers upset me. Uh, Negative people upset me. Uh, just there's a lot of things that upset me, but I just don't show it. I don't address it too much because it's just it's not worth talking about.
Nice, very nice, and that's good. Having a poker face, I guess, in a way, is good because it's kind of like they show you like in boxing and all this other stuff. Like, never show your opponent, what I'm saying, that you're upset or that you're hurt or that you're like weak or whatever, in whatever area, because that just gives the other person like more fuel. So that's very smart, bro. This is what I mean. Like when you give answers, and I truly mean this. When you give answers, I'm genuinely like, I don't know, like very joyous and happy because it's very smart and like wise answers that you give. So I respect that, bro. That's what's up.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's just
So
because it's not like rehearsed. Like
true.
everything that I say, it's not rehearsed. I told you like, don't show me the questions. Let me answer them on the spot because it comes out naturally. It comes out of the heart. So
Hmm.
just that's just the way I am. I don't like to rehearse for things.
And that is what gives that extra oomph is that you the genuine part about it is like, okay, well, I'm gonna answer this to the best of my abilities, but the fact that you answer the way you do and what you answer along with it is like awesome. I could not have put it better myself. All right. So what motivates and inspires you, as an individual? Like what kind of like helps you when every time you get out of bed, what motivates you or pushes you to be a better version of yourself? You know, what inspires you to be a better version of yourself?
Um, Obviously the family, the family motivates me. Mom and dad motivates me every day to achieve my goals and reach for more. When like my parents always say like, yeah, it's good to reach something and help us out, but also go reach for something more and help others out as well. Don't just look at yourself, your own life, and don't look at our life and our circle. Just try to help, be as big as you can be and try to help others out. So that's what motivates me. I know there's misfortunate people out there, or needy people out there that need help. So one day I want to be so big and so such a powerful person that I'm able to help the people that are needy. So that's what motivates me.
Now that you say that, you brought up your family and your parents, and I know we kind of like raced over the question earlier about your upbringing and your parents and all that, but now that you said what you said, how close are you to your? Because it sounds like you're super close to your parents, but I mean, if you would have to define the relationship between you and your parents, how would you define it, or how would you like talk about it?
Of course, yeah. My mom and dad are all like number one. Yeah. Some people might say I'm like a mama's boy, and I say it as like insult or whatever. But I feel like every powerful person is like a mama's boy because they listen to their parents, and their parents always knows what's good for them. So that's I'm very close with the parents for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome here. And let me say this though, and this is not to correct you in any way, shape, or form. This is just, I guess, expanding on what you just said here. Yeah, parents know best when they truly like love their child because I'm sure we both can agree that sadly not every parent out there, you know what I'm saying, like truly like loves their children. And that's a sad truth, but it is a reality. But when your parents do love you, like genuinely love and care about you and want the world for you and everything, then that they truly will always recommend you like the greatest things. They will give you the best advice towards like what will help you grow as a person. And I'm assuming that's the case with you and your parents, is they truly do love and care about you, even within all this that you're into. Like confronting predators. Now, I'm pretty sure they give you tons of advice. You know what I'm saying, and try to like guide you through all this as you're kind of like already over like 200 some catches. I'm sure they sit down with you from time to time and say, "Hey, this, and this. Have they told you anything thus far up until now since you started doing this? Like, you know."
Of course, yeah. They always say, "Look, be safe, be protected when you do this stuff. Be smart." And yeah, they always give me little hints and details of what to do and what not to do. Um, but yeah, man, unfortunately, there are bad parents out there.
Hmm.
Like I went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago because I did two catches over there, and it was extremely hot. It was very hot. It was 117 degrees in Vegas, so we couldn't even walk the streets of Vegas because it was so hot. We would have to go inside a building or like somewhere just so we can get some AC. And the only places that had these ACs were like the casino areas. So we would go in and we would see like parents with their kids at the casino gambling, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, like what type of a parent are you, man, bringing your
Hmm.
child to like a casino and they're like smoking right in front of them. There's people with alcohol and stuff and
Hmm.
like trays, and they're just gambling and losing money. And like this is the type of like lifestyle that some of these kids grow up in, and they get corrupted and they
Hmm.
lead to a bad path. And yeah, man, I just hope that every kid is get a good guardian in their life because they need it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like you just said, that happens. And what ends up happening is that child that is seeing that and taking it in and all that, they see it as something normal, as something common, and they grow up thinking, well, if my parents did it, then it's okay to do it for me too. Then that's what usually happens for a kid that age, seeing that at such a young age, and just kind of like having that experience with their parents. So yeah, man, this life, needs more people that uh, not only says that they love their children and all that, but actively, like time and time again, actually show it. By not doing that, which you saw.
Yeah.
Um, so that's
It,
good, bro. Yep. You want to add something to it?
yeah, man, it's just crazy, crazy stuff. You know, I just wish every kid had a good parent or guardian in their life, because I'm sure there would be some kids would be great people and grew up like successful, but it's because
Mhm.
some of the parents are like people in their life that kind of hold them down. So it
Yep.
is. That's why I do that's why I do CC unit as well, because I educate the parents be a good parent. Not only is it to expose creeps and protect kids, but it's also to educate the parents. Be like, look, this is what's out there, and you have to be very protective and loving to your kid. So yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that. All right. So all of us, including myself, right? Every time we see you out there on the field, about to do a live catch or whatever, and we're getting ready to like view or whatever, and you're out there doing your thing, we're like, well, most of us, we're like, man, Ghost got this. Man, look at his form. Look at the way he's walking towards the pedal. Look at the way he's like getting ready to go in on this fool. And but at the end of the day, like I said earlier, you're a regular human being like you and me. And although we would like to believe that you're completely, utterly fearless, all right, to the 10th degree, is there any fears that you want to share with everybody? You know.
Fears. I mean, of course, you're cautious of what they carry. You
Hmm.
don't know what they carry. You don't know what they have on them. So that's always something that's in the back of my mind. Hey, does this guy have a knife? Does this guy have a gun? Does this guy have a taser? What does he have? So that's something that I always take at the pre-call. I'm not like scared, but I just have adrenaline, which is good. Because if you don't have adrenaline, then you're not aware. You're not prepared of if something does go down. So I'm not like scared, but I just have the adrenaline that's kicking in. So
Yep. And yeah, adrenaline does help. Let me just say this, and I know most of us, know about this, but it's been proven time and time again, okay, that when a mother fears for the life of her child, the adrenaline that you're talking about kicks in, and sometimes that same adrenaline, that energy, just transforms into like superhuman strength or superhuman speed, to where the person, you know what I'm saying, it just, they would do stuff, or they're capable to do stuff that they normally could not do if not for that same adrenaline that you're talking about. So that's a fact. All right. All right. So let's say tonight, right? Let's say after the interview, hypothetically, the somehow you got a catch, and you go over there, you do your thing, you confront the person, right? What do you do after the catch, after the confrontation, when you get back to your place, to kind of like wipe that memory, or wipe that moment out of your mind and out of your heart? That way you can kind of like really truly like unwind and like remind yourself that you're you and not what you do. Like, how do you go about doing that? Because I know it's mentally, doing this for long periods of time, I'm sure it could have like a psychological toll on you, an emotional toll on you. So what do you do like after a catch, to be like, all right, I'm me. I'm not what I do. I'm not my because I consider this to be a job of some sort. I'm not my job. I'm me. So and so. How do you do that? What do you do?
I just go home and take the mask off, and then I look myself in the mirror, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me right there.
I was not expecting that one.
Yeah, I'm like, Like, is that the guy who just did that? Wow, man, what am I doing? I need to go do my homework. What's going on? I come into my room, I see
Yeah.
this textbook, and it's just sitting there staring at me, and I'm like, oh man, I need to go read that.
Ah, yo, Red Hood. I know. I'm sure you know who Red Hood is. Red Hood's in the house, and this is not a question, so that's why I'm bringing it up on the screen. But he said something funny. He said he sounds like Batman, and that's exactly who you sounded like. He's like, wait, hold up, man. I'm not I'm not what I do. And he said, he said,
No, you know what's funny? Uh, People actually compare me to not to Batman, but to Batman Beyond. For those of you who've seen the Batman Beyond series,
yes.
he like wears all black. He
Hmm.
has the same kind of like horn thing, and then he
With
has
the
like the
red
red.
symbol in the front.
Yeah. So people compare me to like the Batman Beyond, but close enough, I guess.
Hey man, that works for me, and it makes sense because oh my goodness, his name escapes me. Is it Tim? Is Tim? No, I feel like it's with it starts with a D. But anyways, the guy who plays or is given the mantle of Batman in Batman Beyond,
Terry McGinnis.
Terry.
Terry
Yes,
Mc yeah, Terry, yeah.
there we go. I was like, man, was it with a T or a D? But Terry, yes. I mean that makes sense because it's a younger version. So yeah, you're super young, so that would fit the role just perfectly. Yeah, Terry. I can't believe I forgot that, yo. I used to be a big fan of that series. I mean, I was a bigger fan of the original Batman animated series, but still, I still watch both of them and enjoyed it as well. All right, so whenever you do decide, because I'm sure it's not anytime soon, but whenever you do decide to actually retire from doing all of this, whenever that is, uh, where do you see your life in general? Like, where does Go see himself? Like, once you kind of like hang up that mantle and say, okay, well, now other people or more people are doing it. Let me just try to enjoy what's left of my life here or whatever. Doing what? What do you see yourself in general doing? After if you retire or when you retire from doing all this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like once I retire, I'm still always gonna be a part of the movement. I'm still always gonna be a part. I'm not gonna just boom disappear. Even though I'm named Ghost, I'm not gonna just ghost everybody. But I feel like I'll make like a podcast. I'll do something kind of like what you do. I'll like I'll bring on like I'll do like kind of like what you're doing, but I'll also do like true crime daily stuff, like
Nice.
big cases all around the world, because I feel like um CC unit has a very big reach. Um, like a lot of people know about CC units, so I feel like if I start talking about cold cases or unsolved cases that law enforcement needs help with, I can like bring on witnesses or victims or whatever onto the podcast, and I can interview them about the case, and then maybe some type of evidence or a lead in the case can break and open up. Like I can, yeah, that's just the mindset that I have, where I can make like a podcast and focus on cold cases, true crime daily, interview police officers, lawyers, future catchers, whatnot, big stuff.
What that would what why tongue tied. Why that would be great for you specifically is because I do this right and I enjoy doing this. This is like one of the best parts of my day is when I get in front of the screen and like review you guys' catches and everything and critique like the strategy behind your catches and going over the video and like, well, this could have been done better or this was really good, there's no way of perfecting that or whatever. What would make a difference if you were to be on my end and doing this is that you're already past 200 catches, bro. That's ridiculous. And I know other catches are over like 200 also or whatever, but the fact that you're as active as you are and you've been out there on the field, when you get on to that moment that you're just doing podcasts, you can talk about it way, way better and at a deeper level than I will be ever able to do. So that would just bring a whole nother level of flair and fire and intensity to the podcast. Because I mean, I could do this, you know what I'm saying, like all day, every day, like because I'm just talking with you, we're having a nice conversation, you know what I'm saying, we're getting to know you and all that. But I there's things that I might not be able to say because I haven't experienced them yet. But yet you over 200 catches, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna just be on different level altogether, you know. So hopefully that does go through, bro. And if that does happen, whenever it does, um, make sure you have me on there so I could say great things about you again.
Hey, if when I do make a, I mean, I'm not gonna retire anytime soon. Don't everybody don't get your hopes up. I'm not retiring. Don't worry. This is not a retirement thing. I'm not gonna retire just because I want to do big things across. Like I'm not I'm like known in California and some other areas, but I want to be like I want to like make a huge impact across America. So I'm not there yet. So until I do something like that, then I'll retire. But now is not the time. But yeah, once I do make a podcast, hey JDQ, bro, yeah, open invitation, bro. Your house, my house is your house. You can walk in, and we'll do a great podcast. Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro. And I'm sure that from here to there, I'm gonna have some catches under my belt too. So that I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll give me time to kind of gain that experience and be able to talk about it, you know, openly and fluently with you, and just kind of like, yeah, you know, when I did this, you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when you go to the police station, you got to like turn it in. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it'll be easier to talk about it with you once that happens. But so does that mean that if that does go through, does it mean that the whole like biology degree you kind of like put it to the side, or are you not going to have like a like regular profession career outside of like doing that?
No, no, I'm always gonna have my college, my degrees and stuff. I'm always gonna use it. It's not. I'm not like I'm not unemployed. I do have a job and stuff. So
Talk about it, my friend. Go ahead and say what you got to say about that. Go ahead. I was going to ask, but since you brought it up, go ahead, talk about it. Preach.
I don't want to talk about the job. Just know that I do have a job. I don't want people to think I love living off unemployment or whatever. I do have a job. Don't worry, don't worry. I
There
pay
you go.
as everybody.
And it's good that you brought it up, man, because once again, and sadly, this is something that I always have to bring up, and with everyone that I interview on here, is like, oh, and we're gonna get to that in a few, but oh, he's just doing it for the money. Listen, man, listen, you, Alex, FM, and a lot of the other catchers have regular jobs, whether it be part time or full time. They have regular jobs. Even me, I have a part time job because guess what? Doing this on here is not paying the bills, at least not for me. Is not, you know what I'm saying, put gas money in my car to get to work, which by the way, yeah, I'm sorry to bring it up again, but the flat tire that I have in the front of my car is ridiculous. That happened out of nowhere yesterday.
Hey,
And I'm like,
help out JDQ,
no,
right?
no, 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 bro, no, 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 because they're gonna be like, see, you see.
Hey, hey, people can hate, bro. We love you, man. We love you, and we do want to help. So
You're funny, bro. You're funny. But that's good that you brought that up because you know it needs to be known and stated. Like, yes, the man has a job outside of doing, which makes things even more intense and makes things like more interesting because it's like, hold up, bro, hold up. This man got a regular life. He got an actual job and he's doing all this catching stuff like on his own personal time. Get out of here. What? Who actually in the right mind would do that? Well, Ghost would, and he does. You know, on a day-to-day basis, talks to creeps. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of you don't have the stomach to do, he does. So that's. I'm glad you brought that up, man. And because I was going to ask, but since you brought it up, there it is.
thank you.
All right, here's a good one right here, man. And I can't wait to hear the answer on this one. Are you ready? I'm
I'm
gonna throw
ready.
this curveball at you right now. All right, it's for all the ladies out there. Does Ghost in some distant future or whatever plan on having a family of his own.
Of course. I thought that was a curveball, JDQ.
Well, in the sense that I was hoping you wouldn't like expect it, like at least not now.
No, yeah, of course. I feel like every guy wants a family. They want to be a dad one day. They want to have their own kid, and then they want to have a wife and stuff. So yeah, of course, of course. So one day I will have a child, or maybe children. Now just one child.
If you have a child, would you name him Casper?
No.
I know that was cheesy, man, but it's also a good one. Come on now, like
Oh, it was a good one. It was a good one.
So we got Audrey with another super chat. He said no super chat, but JDQ needs a fresh fade. I appreciate that, but I really do. I mean, listen, I'm looking like an 80-year-old person with most of my hair on the side and me thinning up here. So I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for the $5 donation.
I like your hair, JDQ. Keep it, keep it.
I mean, I'm trying to, bro. What I do is I fade the sides as close as I can and just not touch the top. So hopefully, God willing, a miracle goes through, or the products that I use for my sister come through and like help me in that area. So we'll see what happens. All right. So, do you want to share with any of us? Because I know we all know like what you believe in. We all believe that we understand what your faith is and all that. Obviously. All right. So we don't have a question here, but I mean, kind of like I have to say it, but our favorite Bombastute says, and she's talking to you. Now, I don't think she's talking to me, but she's saying, I love you. Tell Ghost he is amazing.
Hey,
So,
I know who the favorite bombstitute is. I
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
who she is, but I'm not gonna say. Obviously, maybe she
Right.
wants privacy, but she's great. She's also a very big asset to the community. Without her, a lot of the things wouldn't run smoothly. So that's all I have to say. But she's great. Yeah.
I call her the Oracle, man. I even told her that in the DMs not too long ago. I was like, listen, you're awesome, and she's a very intelligent human being. Let me just say that. Let me just start with that. She's very intelligent. She's very wise for her age, and she's on it. She's like quick with the responses. She's fast with like, hey, be careful with this, or don't do this, or don't do that. Remember about this. She's kind of like, that's why I say she's, to me at least in my opinion, she's like some type of oracle, because it's like she really is the brains of a lot of the things that go on within the community. So she says, thank you. All right. So back to the question I was trying to say. Because we already know what your faith is and all that, and your upbringing and all that good stuff, is there any type of like personal life philosophy that you want to like share for any one of us, kind of like what you personally believe, like your personal philosophy about life?
My personal philosophy about life is, if God wants something to happen, it will happen. If God doesn't want something to happen, it won't happen. If you have God on your side, you're good. But if you don't have God on your side, nothing will go your way. And that's what we believe in, like the religion of Islam. So always have faith in God, always believe, be positive. Everything happens for a reason. So that's that's just one of the things I always just try to remember.
That's very true, man. What's funny is before I got on here to do this interview, my father was having a conversation with us. It was like a brief one. It wasn't too like deep or whatever, but you know, pretty much what you said. He said it like in a longer version because you know how older people are. Like to say a lot more words. But basically, he was stating the fact that at least like as far back as you can go in history, a lot of great people um, in the faith, okay, whether it be in your faith or my faith, because they looked to do God's will, God did great things through them and with them. So it's my understanding that if we as individuals say, God, this is my life, I give you my life, do with it what you want, direct me and guide me to what you want me to do or need me to do, you know what I'm saying, to fulfill the purpose that you have for me, then we're going to see amazing things in our life and in the lives of people around us. So I once again, bro, like the answer you gave is like just spot on. And I agree with it 110%, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. This, I mean, yeah, man, like I said, people can be upset about things. People sometimes they throw a fit of why certain things happen in their life, but you always have to remember God has something planned for you. And maybe something happened that you don't like, but maybe there's a reason why it happened, and maybe there's something down the line that is even better for you than what you wanted. So
Exactly. And we have a super chat from Harry Grace with a $1.99 donation. Ghost, Alex, and PP Mass are the best. I'm pretty sure Ghost thanks you for that.
thank you, Harry Grace, means a lot.
And I'll agree to that. Yeah. All right. So for now, we're done with the personal questions, and now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, the more serious matter at hand here with what you do. Obviously, most of the people in here know what you do, but just in case further down the line in the future, there's someone who comes across this interview or your channel or my channel and says, "Well, who is this guy? Like, what does he do?" And all right, we're gonna get into that. So, all right, you kind of already answered this earlier today, um, and I wasn't expecting that you would have, but you did briefly, very briefly, and for a few seconds. But I guess I'll give you the platform now to kind of like expand on it a little more. But what or who is CC Unit? When was it formed? How? Why? What inspired it? Okay, and who makes part of the team? Because let me say this: when I first came across your channel, right at the very early stages of your channel, what I used to see was it was you and another guy, if I'm not mistaken, called Spectre, right? So go ahead, talk about how the team was formed, when was it formed, what inspired it to be formed, and what made a part of it then, and what makes a part of it now.
Yeah, so it started back in 2018. Uh, I went by as Ghost CC Unit. Um, I started in San Diego, California. Um, I started solo. I didn't have anybody with me.
Gotcha.
I didn't have any. A lot of people, they have like the misconception of, oh, did CC Unit come with other people? How did it begin? No, it was just me solo. Nobody else. It was just me. And I had all I all I recorded was my old iPhone. I don't even use the iPhone anymore, but it was my old iPhone, okay? And I used to record it with that. I didn't have like great equipment or anything. And I did my first few catches with that, and I started gaining some attraction from the people in San Diego. Uh, at first, when I started doing it, a lot of people were like, "What the heck is this kid doing?" Like because it wasn't new. It was something new. It wasn't something that everybody knew about. Like a lot of people nowadays, if you Google like creep catcher on
Mm-hmm.
Google, 20 different groups pop up.
Mm-hmm.
2020. There's New Jersey, Toronto, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, whatever. Like 20 different groups pop up. Back then, when I started doing it, it was something complete. Like it was really new, especially in California. Nobody ever really did it except for Chris Hansen when he did his sting operations in like Riverside and like Long Beach and like some other areas. But yeah, when I first started doing it, a lot of people they kind of had doubts in me. They were like, "What the heck is this 19, 20-year-old kid running around chasing people, filming them? What's going on? Like, why is he doing this? Is he setting them up? What is he doing this for?" So a lot of people didn't really understand it, and at first I got a lot of negativity, I got a lot of hate. But I said I always thought to myself, hey, don't let the hate come to you. Do it. Will do what you're doing, and people will start coming to realize that hey, you're doing a really good thing for the community. And then the catch that really kind of like triggered everything was I caught this elementary school teacher. I caught this elementary school teacher. He was a teacher that helped with special ed needs kids for elementary. And once I caught that guy, a lot of people were like, "Wow, like this is who was doing this type of stuff, an elementary school teacher?" And like the police got involved, and they actually brought me into the station to do an interview with me. And they're like, "Who are you? Why are you doing this?" They thought I was a bad guy. And then I explained to them what I was doing and stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, we kind of understand now." And then I dropped the video on it, and ever since then, a lot of people actually started loving me. They loved what I do because they're like, "Wow, he caught an elementary school teacher. Well, why are we not even giving him a chance?" So I started getting big and big in San Diego, and then Spectre. I'm not gonna give away his full name because I'm still friends with him. I'm good homies with him.
Nice.
He was actually a supporter of mine. He was
Mm,
like just like the people that are watching now. He was a supporter of mine. He reached out to me one day. He said, "Hey, bro, I'd love to come on a catch with you." And at that time, I didn't have I wasn't as known as I am now. So I was like, "Yeah, cool, cool. What's up? You can come on the catch." So I brought him on a catch. He actually became a really good friend of mine, and he started coming on catches with me. But he got busy with life and stuff. You know, everybody has a life, and
got you.
they get busy with it. So he hasn't been able to come on a catch recently, but I don't know. Maybe one day he can come back. But right now I'm doing everything on my own, or well, not on my own, but I'm doing things with other people.
All right. So just to make things even clearer, for the people who've been wondering, because even myself, I from time to time I wonder like, hey, what happened to the Spectre or whatever. But there's no problems between you two. There's no beef, nothing like that. He just
No,
simply got involved in life and is living his normal life. Correct?
yeah, there's no beef, no beef. We actually kicked it back like a few months ago. We kicked it at a restaurant, at a mall. We got some food and stuff. We kicked it, got to catch up a bit. But yeah, he's busy. Like I said, even if I did have beef with anybody, I would not say it publicly. I wouldn't come out and publicly try to start beef or bring in the public on the beef because
Hmm.
it's just so stupid to me. Like that's why I never really get involved with any of this drama, and it's just the whole. It's just a distraction, dude. It's a
Hmm.
distraction from the movement. It honestly it makes the drama makes it more about the people who are involved rather than the movement, and I don't know. I don't like that. So
No, and that's not to really expand on it or whatever, but in this type of community and this type of content creating that you guys do, when I say you guys, I mean you and any other predator catching channel out there, you know, the more focused you are on the actual catches, and the actual confrontations, and just kind of like stick with that and nothing else, the better. Because I mean, that's what it's for. That's what the channel is there for. Is to expose the creeps. Hopefully put them behind bars. But if not, then do the best possible job to confront them and expose them in their community. That way, the community that they reside in are more cautious with that person. So that's what it's about. It's not about, oh, I got this amount of subscriber base and versus what you got or whatever, or I don't like your face. Oh, I don't like your hair. Oh, no. I mean, that stuff just kind of like makes the channels and the movement look weak. It makes it look immature. And this is why, one of the many reasons why I wanted to like interview you, because you're one of the catchers that is, and I don't know how to say this to where it won't sound like I'm every catcher, all right, is, yeah, they're focused, and they're here to do what they're doing to protect the kids and all that. But for whatever reason, you come off as one of the most focused. If that's what I'm saying, makes any sense, or that a little bit more respectful. You're one of the most focused on what you're here to do, on the mission that you set out for yourself, and that shows because you stay away from beef, because you stay away from that lame drama. What I'm saying, that happens on other channels that I'm not going to mention right here, right now. But we all know who I'm talking about.
and it's not even worth mentioning.
Exactly. So, and I respect you for it. Now, and and thanks for keeping us up to date with with Spectre and all that. That's I was hoping to hear a positive response like what you the one you just gave.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Now going back to the catches, you mentioned that the first catch was the elementary school teacher catch, correct?
Well, that wasn't the first catch. That was like I forgot what number he was, but he was one of the earlier catches. It wasn't the first catch. Like I said, one of like when I first started doing this, like number like catch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's when people didn't really understand what I was doing.
Gotcha.
I got some type of I got like criticism, I guess, but once I caught him, people were like, "Wow, this is wild." And then that's when the tables flipped and people started loving me. So
So okay, well, since that wasn't the first one, going back to the very first one, to the very first catch, were you in any way, shape, or form scared or nervous, like before the catch or during the catch, or even after the catch? You know, that confrontation, that very first one. Like, could you talk about that? Like, how that experience was for you?
yeah, the first catch. This is a crazy story. The first ever catch I did, I went on applications. I went on forums, online websites, posed as a minor, and then this guy named his name was Oscar Mendez. Oscar Mendez.
Interesting.
He was like 30 something years old. He contacted the account. He was fine with the age 13. He was fine with the age. He's like, let's go meet. I'm like, when? He's like, right now. I'm like, oh, right now, right now? He's like, yeah, right now, right now. I'm like, okay, where? He's like, let's go meet at a store. I was like, okay, let's go meet at a store. Literally an hour from the first contact, I was right there. I caught it. Literally an hour, dude. Can you like all right, can you believe that? When we first started our interview right now, our interview,
Yeah.
right now I would have been at the store getting him. Can you believe that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it for me it would be kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. It'd be like in an hour. That's pretty fast if you really think about it. It goes by really fast.
An hour, dude. An hour.
Holy crap!
So yeah, so I was like, okay. So at first I had my doubts. I was like, is this even real?
Right.
Guy even gonna show up? Like, is this like what is it? Is this a bot account? Like, who is this guy? So I got in the car. I drove to the store. Got out of the car. Lo and behold, Oscar Mendez is standing right by the fruit section. He's on his phone, looking like an idiot, looking with his sagged shorts, thinking he's gangster or something.
Yeah.
So, so then I'm like, okay, that looks a lot like him. Maybe make sure it's the same guy. It looks a lot like him. So I'm like, okay, I'll meet you in the Gatorade aisle. I think I said, I told him, and lo and behold, I see Oscar sending a message saying, okay, and he starts walking towards the Gatorade aisle.
You gotta love how when it goes exactly how you plan it and exactly like to the T of what you're hoping it would happen. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah.
were you like, aha, gotcha, I got your ass. What are you here to wait? What the decoy? What was the age of the decoy again?
13.
13.
Yeah.
What are you here to? What are you doing here trying to meet up with a 13-year-old girl? Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, yo, that should listen, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure either if you haven't seen, but if you came across it or whatever, I've only had two quote unquote attempts of catching, right? And freaking the first time, like my heart was like racing because like I'm already at the Walmart, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm trying to like prepare mentally for like the conversation. Like, all right, hold on, like, what am I gonna say? What are the questions I'm gonna ask? Blah blah blah. And so I was like pumped in a positive way, but at the same time I was like so worried about like making sure I said what needed to be said and asked what needed to be asked that my heart was just racing. You know, would you say the same thing happened to you on that very first catch, or were you just like, all right, let's do this, and you just got there and you're like, hey, yeah, I'm at the Gatorade aisle, and you're like, hey man, what are you doing here today? Like, were you that like peaceful and tranquil about it, or were you like also like, oh man, all right, this is about to happen, it's about to go down.
I was more of a hothead kind of back then.
Mm.
More of like I was pissed. I was like, is this guy actually here? Is this guy like really here right now? So I was more like of a hot kind of back then. I mean, I like if I get angry, I get angry. Like still this day, I still get like if I get angry, I get angry. But back then, I didn't have experience. I didn't know how to control my emotions more. So when I confronted him, like, "Are you really here meeting up with a 13? Are you serious right now? Let's go back outside." So and then he got so scared. He was scarier than me, and it was my first time. He was like walking all the way down the street trying to get away, looking back and forth, looking at me, seeing if I was gonna do anything. But yeah, I guess I was more pissed, but
Got you. The fact that it was actually happening, that you were like, can't believe this fool really came here to meet a minor. Like
yeah.
and I get it. It makes complete sense. Now, uh, I have another question that is between the next question I'm going to ask you. All right. Speaking of that first catch, right? So as I go back over here, let me see if I can. Well, I'm not going to share it, but I'm going to go to the tab where I have your channel on still, right? I'm noticing that if I go back as far as YouTube allows me to go back to, it's only showing catch number 73 and forward. And I know they're like a little bit mixed up. You know, they're not in exact order or whatever, but it kind of shows from that one forward. What happened to those like very first catches?
Those are on a different website.
Got you,
But
got you.
but yeah, I will be. I guess I'll be uploading them. But right now I have to upload all the new catches, so I'm kind of stuck with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the old ones are already exposed.
Right.
Most of them are fired from their jobs. They lose their jobs. They either move out the state, they lose their careers, whatnot. So they're already exposed. But all these new people that I've been catching, I haven't been able to upload them yet. So they haven't really faced the punishment. So I need to give them that punishment.
No, that makes complete sense. That makes complete. I was just wondering because I saw that and I'm like, man, what? Once again, I'm aware that they're not in the exact order because I do see, like 72, but then like 88, and then like number 20 something. But I figured like, man, like what happened to that? But I'm glad you cleared that up, bro. Now, when you first started doing this, did you at any point pull inspiration from like watching like other channels that because I know you said that when you started doing this, not many people were doing it. So you were like one of those pioneers that were doing this when you started, right? But if at any point did you or did you not like pull in any type of like strategy or inspiration from like how other people on other channels were doing it? What's your take on that?
From what I remember, there was only two people that were doing it. As for besides Chris Hansen, Chris Hansen's like what was the first one. Besides Chris Hansen, there was only two other people that were doing it before me. As far as in America, it was Anxiety War.
Mm, yeah,
Pop.
yeah, yeah.
So those two were the only ones who were doing it before me, and I didn't get inspiration from them or anything. I got more I was just more curious to see how many creeps were in my area. I was like, oh,
Mm.
see how many weirdos are here. And I did it in August 2nd, 2018. So
Dang, bro. You remember the date and everything. That's kind of like that's
yeah.
good. That's good. I mean, that your memory is that sharp, bro. Like you asked me what I had for breakfast this day, I'll be like something to fill my stomach. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, the only reason I ask is because, and my bad, bro. I know it's been like over an hour already, and we're still talking it, and it might be a little longer than.
Hey, we can go 2 hours. I don't care, bro. Hey,
Awesome, awesome.
waited 1 year interview. So I'm like, 2 hours. What's the hurt in that? We can do it.
Yeah. The reason I was asking about that, if you pulled any inspirations, because, you know, at least me, my personal opinion, if and when I decide to do something like this, right? Like I want to make sure that before I go out there on the field and like do this, like I learn from other people's mistakes. I learn like the do's and don'ts of this thing that I'm trying to do, and just kind of like hopefully do things a little better than what I saw somebody else doing. So that's why I was like, I wonder if he like really took inspiration from anybody, or he just did all him 110%. Just kind of like maybe he's seen like one or two or whatever from other people, but it's like, oh, I'll do it my way. So that's pretty much like how it happened, right? You did it your way. You did your own strategy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the more I do it, the more I adjust. Like I said, when I first started, all I had was my iPhone. Now I
Mm,
now I have a camera crew. Now I have gears with me. Now I have video equipment. Now I have better software. Like it's been very very much improved. So I've
nice,
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna stick to this strategy for the rest of my life. No, I I I, I started doing it and I started improving as I went on. So
nice, very nice. All right, so what did you do? Because I know you said like, well, you saw like probably Chris Hansen, other people, and you're like, well, I'm gonna see, how many fools of these types and creeps is around my area, whatever. Like, how did you go about saying, all right, let me make sure, what I'm saying, I have everything I need before I go and do this? Like, what's the legalities in my area? What's the age in my area? That's a big no-no. The age of consent and all that. What's the do's and don'ts? Like, how did you go about getting all that knowledge first before going out there and doing this?
well, obviously I look up the age of consent and then it's 18 and I read some of the statutes on some of the sex crimes.
Hmm.
Um, it said that as long as they believe it's a minor, as long as they believe, as it doesn't have to be a real minor, as long as they believe it's a minor, it's a crime. So I was like, okay, okay. So I read up on some stuff, and I went and I did it, and I just try to, obviously I was cautious of where to video and where not to video, and what to do and what not, like what to say and what not to say. Try to not come off as a cop. Try not to like look as you're a law enforcement or whatever. Obviously, I did some of my research before I did it. So
Yeah, no, like I said earlier, a guy as intellectual as you, I would imagine, took those necessary like steps like before doing. So I just, yeah, I wanted you to share that part with everybody.
mm.
Now when he started doing this, like who did he tell? Like, did he tell your parents like, hey guys, guess what? Um, I have decided to clean the streets of creeps, and just wanted to let you guys know what I'm about to do right now. Like, who did you trust? What you're doing with, like your parents, your family members, friends. I don't know, neighbors. Did you tell anybody, or you just said, "I'm gonna do this and just do what I did"?
I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell any of the family or anything because I know it. Like if I would have said, "Hey, I'm gonna go catch my first creep," they would be like, "Oh, I don't know. What are you doing?" Like, are you serious? Like it's family love. They want you to be safe, so they wouldn't have allowed me. But I was like, you know what, I got to do this. So I went and did it. So all right, cool.
So, at what point did they either figure it out that you were doing this, or at what point were you like, "All right, guys, I can't hide it anymore. This is what I've been doing." Kind of like if you were like a superhero, basically. Like if Clark Kent got discovered, you know what I'm saying, by his friend. And, all right, I'm sorry, Bob. This is what I've been doing these last 10 years. I've been like, saving people from trains and all that. At what point did you actually tell your parents or somebody like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," or did they find out on their own? How did that happen?
Yeah, they found it out on their own from the internet. They're like, "Who's this guy?"
Mm.
You.
Those eyes look very familiar.
They're like, hey, come here. We need to talk to you.
How did that conversation go? What did they tell you? Like, what happened?
I think you do.
They were like, hold up, get my
Kidding.
belt. Just like they did one of these. They pulled out the belt and they were like, now I told you what would happen if I don't want to imagine how that conversation went, but I can imagine. So I'm sorry you had to go through all that, brother, but it made you a stronger you.
They're upset somewhat, but I guess they kind of sort of understood. But they didn't like I guess they were upset, but they weren't like super upset or anything.
Got you. They were just, if anything, like concerned and worried, if anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes complete sense. All right. Oh man.
Once I saw like I did like 50 catches, they're like, wow, okay. I mean, I guess he can handle it. So
That's another good question that I didn't even think to ask. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure once they saw how well you did on those catches, whatever number it was, by the time they saw, even I would have been like, well, damn, you've been doing this for a while. Like, never mind. Like, do you think? Like, holy crap, man.
that's right.
That's right, pops. This is what I do. That's what I'm about, son. All right, bring the cupcakes outside when you're done talking. Like, man, I'm pretty sure they're extremely proud of you, as anybody else in your family or your neighborhood. So I can see me being a part of your family, being like, bro, this is good. You're like a real life Batman Beyond, like you said earlier. All right, so how actually bad? And I know you can answer this better than anybody. How bad is the situation in Cali, like altogether? Like, how bad is the pedophile / predator situation in Cali?
I mean, of course it's bad, but it's bad anywhere.
Mm,
Anywhere bad. If I go to like Alaska right now, I bet you I can get someone. So it's bad anywhere. It doesn't stop at just Cali. It's worldwide. So um, yeah, I mean it's bad, but it's not just here. So
So now that you said that, the way you just phrased it, um, how many catches did you even do in Cali altogether before you said, I think I'm gonna branch out now. I think I'm gonna go, to another state or whatever. Like, how many did you do, first of all, in San Diego, and of course overall in Cali altogether before you branched out?
yeah, man. Like when I first started doing this, I only did it in like in my area of San Diego,
Hmm.
and that's because I couldn't drive that far. I mean, I didn't make that much money. I was just like a 19-year-old kid who
Gotcha.
was doing it, and I didn't have that much gas money.
Hmm.
There was only a limit where I could go to, so I didn't drive out too far. But obviously now I'm more experienced. I know the ins and outs of things. Obviously, I've been to Temecula, I've been to Los Angeles, I've been to Riverside, I've been to El Cajon, East County, San Diego. I've been to Arizona. I've been to Nevada. I've been to Virginia. I've been to Sacramento. I've been to San Jose, San Francisco. All these different areas I've been to. So, yeah, it's crazy.
This is I was about to say the same thing. This is crazy. Like, I mean, and once again, you know, my memory is not, it's not the worst, but it's not the greatest. So as much as I would love to like remember every single catch of yours that I've seen thus far, um, the places that you mentioned, some of them it was like I was just like, wait, what? He was there too? He went there too? Like what? Like I thought, it was only like these other places that I saw. Like, but apparently you've been around a lot more places than what I had initially thought or seen. So props to you, bro. I mean, that's the way to do it, to be honest with you. Like, the more places you reach, the more effective you are, the more areas that you're cleaning up the streets in. So that's good. All
Thank
right. So I wonder, at some point, because I know you can't be doing this by yourself like forever. And by that I mean not that you can't do the confrontations by yourself, because obviously you can, but you know, at some point, do you think of like, I don't know how to say this or ask it to where it doesn't sound, but pretty much like, let's say, okay, there's I've built this team, so that way, yeah, this team covers more areas or whatever. But I'm going to focus a little bit more in this area or this location or this range of location. And the rest of the team is going to take care of this area, this area. Have you ever thought about that to make things more easy on yourself? Or
Oh, you're talking about branches, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. So kind of like what Alex did with like, Toronto, Massachusetts, yeah. I'm never gonna do branches. I'm never because the thing is with branches, dude. Like, yeah, obviously there's gonna be some good people out there that have a good heart, and they do it from the genuine bottom of their heart. But there's some people that uh, like it's hard to trust someone just from online. You know,
Mm,
it's
yep.
hard to trust someone from just online, especially you've never seen them in person. Like, how am I gonna trust someone from Vermont? Like, if
Hmm.
someone reached out to me, hey, CC unit, can I be CC unit Vermont? I'm like, bro, you're all the way across the country. I've never even met you. I don't know how you look. I don't know anything about you. I
Hmm.
don't even know anything. Like, I don't like. How do I even know who you like? Your real name is. So how am I supposed to trust someone to hold up the CC unit reputation, the CC unit brand, the CC unit organization? I can't put that at risk because I've done a lot of work. I put in a lot of effort in order to get to where CC unit is now, and I'm not gonna just let it be in the hands of someone else from Vermont that I don't even know. So it's just too much of a risk factor.
Hmm.
Also, it's a liability factor, which is let's say I do give someone CC unit Vermont,
Hmm.
right? And they go do their thing and they can be CC unit Vermont, and whatever catch they do, it falls back on the organization. Let's say they do a catch in Vermont, something goes wrong, someone gets stabbed, someone gets shot, someone gets kidnapped, whatever the case may be, goes wrong. Now that is on me because
Yeah,
it's my organization, right?
true.
That's a liability factor, and
Hmm.
it's too much of a risk factor for me to take, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather. That's why I'm saying, bro. Like, I'd rather just go myself and do it in different areas. I'll go visit your area for like a week or so. I'll do a couple catches there, and then I'll come back to my area. I'll go back to New York. I'll come back. I'll go to Texas. I'll come back. It's just easier for me, and it's a lot more peace on the mind for me. So.
No, that makes complete sense. I mean, obviously, you don't want that stress on you. That because you might, technically, you might feel like less stress if you have like those other areas covered. But at the same time, you might not be able to sleep at night. Not knowing how well those other people from the other branch conduct themselves as people, as individuals, and all that stuff. So I get it. That makes complete sense, bro.
Yeah, man.
And
Like, I mean, I've saw like some stuff that Alex did, and I have to learn from that. I'm always learning. I'm still like, just because I've been doing this for a while, I still watch and I learn, and I try to improve on myself. So yeah, man. I mean, Alex did the branching thing, and some of them worked out, some of them didn't.
mhm.
I learned.
you know, I know you you didn't say it with the intention that I took it, but I'm pretty sure me and most people in the chat area know exactly what you mean and who you're talking about. So,
No, I'm not throwing any names out there. I don't know. I was just saying like some worked, some didn't. Like some organizations they don't even like catch anymore. They just stopped. So you know. So I'm just talking about
I need some air, bro. I'm like, I want to turn the fan on, but I don't want to mess up like the audio. But holy crap, that was good. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. So Some organizations aren't even part of the organization anymore. Anyways, um, now when you started branching out to other states and all that, what's like the main difference you saw in those other states, and as far as like what's needed for evidence goes, what's needed for I don't know, to making sure the confrontation goes as needed to go by the book and to the T in those other states. What's like the biggest difference you see?
Yeah, bro. Like this is a very good question. I've always wanted to answer this straight up in an interview. Um, People always get upset at me. Why don't you call the cops? Why don't you have them there? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Because every area is different, bro. So I know my ins and outs of San Diego. I know how it works. I know how the district attorney will react to my catches. So the San Diego district attorney, she won't take the case. Okay, that's flat out bottom line. They won't take the case.
Wow.
That's how it is. Literally, whether how concise and precise of a catch it is, the guy admits to everything. He's like, "Yup, I'm wrong. I said all those things. Here are my intentions. Those are my chat logs. I did all that. Here's my phone with the chat logs." They won't take it. That's how it is.
That's
So
crazy.
so people, when they get upset at me, why don't you call the cops? It's because I don't want to waste the police's time. I like the police. I love the police. They're great. Oceanside Police, Carlsbad Police, they're great. I've dealt with them before. They're very genuine, good-hearted police officers. I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to hold up in the emergency line if there's someone else having a real emergency.
Hmm.
So I don't want to hold that up. I don't want to waste the police's time. I don't want to waste their resources because I already know the end result. When they do come, they take a report, their hands are tied, they can't make the arrest. All they got to do is send it off to the DA, and then the DA rejects it. So this is where it starts. You have to start at the legal system. You have to talk about the legal system. You have to press the legal system for them to change the law so it becomes right, and then they can start accepting the cases. So that's where it starts. But it's also different when I go to set, like I've been to Sacramento. Guess what happened? The first catch I do over there, police come. Guess what they do? They arrest him on the spot. They bring him back to the police station. They conduct a full-on interview, and then they charge him with 2 felonies.
Nice.
Okay, and his bail is set at $100,000. So
Nice.
that's the difference between one jurisdiction and another jurisdiction. I went to Virginia. I did 2 catches over there in Virginia. One of the catches in Virginia, this is, keep in mind, this is not even on the West Coast. This is on the East Coast now.
Yep.
Completely
Correct.
different area.
Hmm.
I went to the East Coast. I did 2 catches in Virginia. One of the catches was a high school teacher. He was already a registered offender on probation. So if he was on thin ice, and guess what? I caught him. I called he what I so it was a really short catch. I caught him. He jumped in his car, took off. I called up the probation officer of his. The probation officer was like, "Really? Okay, okay." The very next day, they go to his house, arrest him. Till this day, he's sitting in jail. So that's how it is. Every single area is different.
Is that the one that you did in the plaza?
No,
That
no.
near an ice cream area or something like that, like a yogurt area? No.
This was in the woods in Virginia.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
If my memory serves me correct, yeah, I was there for like a few minutes. I wasn't there for the entire catch, but I remember you saying that those exact words. Like, I think at some point, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there came a moment where you're like, all right, now you guys can like call or whatever, like say
Yeah.
the location or whatever.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, the fact that you were over there, period, and you experienced that shows us how different and how dynamic changes from one side of the states to the other, and how well the cops like work with you and how well they don't, and how end game whether the person at least even goes to jail or not, even if it's for whatever amount of time.
And then also in Arizona, me and Alex we did a collab over there.
Mm.
We got this guy on an Indian reservation. Alex turned in all the information and everything, the chat logs, everything. He wasn't arrested on the spot. So every area is different. Every area reacts. So if I'm in an area that I already know the end results, I'm not gonna waste the time. I'm not gonna waste the police's time. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna call the cops because I already know what's gonna happen. It's better for me to interview them and get them on camera and expose them rather than the police come cut the interview short and then the guy just walks away. So
No. Yeah, that goes for everybody out there that is either new to the community or new to this content or just new to all this altogether and says, "Oh, I want to call the cops already. Why don't you call the cops? Why don't you call the cops?" There's your explanation, and nobody could have done it better than Ghost. So that was well said, sir. All right, so what do you think is needed as far as protection or defense goes when you're out there on the field doing a thing, like to protect yourself in case of an emergency? Because obviously, I don't believe in carrying firearms. I don't believe in carrying certain things. But in your opinion, like, what do you think is needed or would be okay considered to like carry in case of emergency to protect yourself or defend yourself?
I mean, I carry a flashlight with me. So I got a good old flash. I mean, it's for like light.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, the heavy ones, the ones that are like a foot long or whatever, or a little bit over a foot long, that you're like, you
it's
know,
about yay long and about yay thick. Boom.
there you go. It's kind of like my dad. He used to be in the army, and he had this, the green sack that all the people like who served in the military, they each have like a green large sack where they have like all the uniforms or whatever. And inside that sack, he had one of those like army graded like flashlights that was, it wasn't big, but it was heavy, bro. I'm talking about like heavy. Like if I would have like dropped it on the desk like from here, it would have probably like made a dent in the desk. All right. It was heavy. And I'm like, yo, you could kill somebody with this. I'm like, So I can imagine what your flashlight could do, bro.
I need to start carrying a lantern with me, bro. Like
There you go. Old school. Just keep it old school. And when the time comes, just like, got your face. Just,
yeah.
my eyes.
Or maybe a lighter, a lighter just to keep the light.
A torch lighter. Let's
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a torch lighter. Just for the fun of it. Not let's take it up a notch a little bit.
A flamethrower.
There we go. I don't see why that would be a problem with the authorities. Come on now, that's nothing. I do that on my days off. Like, all right, so as far as the catches, and here I'm gonna speed things up a little bit because I know we're at an hour and 42 minutes, and you did say 2 hours, and I want to try to respect that as best as I can. And I know this is something that you might be interested in talking about, though. All right, who was the most dangerous catch that you've had thus far? Why? And what would you have done to feel safer in that situation?
Man, I feel, I mean, there's a lot of dangerous catches. Yeah, there's a lot of dangerous catches. The last guy I caught, he had a knife on him.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
I've caught plenty of people with knives on them. I've caught plenty of people with a taser on them. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. I wouldn't. There isn't one that like really sticks out to me because I've dealt with a lot of people who had knives on them. But I mean, and they're all dangerous. They're all dangerous. Every single one of them. They're all creeps. They're all criminals. They're all felons. They're all dangerous, sick-minded human beings. So you never know. You can't judge a book by its cover just because the guy's small.
Mhm.
You can't underestimate the guy. You don't know what he has on him. And then, yeah, man, every single one of them is dangerous.
Awesome. Who was the most disappointing catch you've had? When I say disappointing, I mean like for example, I'm not saying this happened. I'm hypothetically. Let's say you encounter like a 9-year-old trying to meet up with like an 8-year-old, and you're like extremely disappointed, more than usual. Yeah. What's the catch that you would be the equivalent of that? Thus far.
Yeah, I mean, the people with a big name, like
Mm.
you expect more out of them,
Hmm.
like a teacher. Like if
Hmm.
a teacher that I catch, I'm like, really? You're a teacher? You work around a kid? Like the baseball coach that I recently caught.
Hmm.
A baseball coach. The dude worked around kids all his life. He was literally he's still a baseball coach at a high school, JV junior varsity baseball coach. So yeah, man, anybody that works around kids, like really, dude,
Hmm.
really, you work around kids and you have the audacity to do this, like
People who are supposed to be molding the minds of the young and
exactly,
forming great individuals for the future, and they're doing this. Yeah.
exactly.
Um, has there ever been a catch where you genuinely felt like bad for the individual, because you saw genuine remorse, or said, "Dang, this probably was more than likely maybe his actual first time attempting this or doing this," and you kind of felt a little bad for them, if any. If there's not, don't worry about it. But if there ever was one, would you point it out?
Yeah, there's only two people that I never posted their video. And the reason being is because the first guy, he was an 18-year-old and he went after a 14-year-old girl.
Hmm.
And I guess he just turned 18. Like he literally just turned 18 like 3 months ago, I guess. But he was one of the people I gave a second chance to because I told him, I'm like, okay, dude, you're 18 years old. I can either post up this video, just completely destroy you, or I can get you some help. Maybe you can go donate to the homeless, go make a charity, go do a community service, whatever, and turn your life around because this is really bad. And he went and I think he donated a bunch of stuff to like a homeless shelter or something. I mean, he sent me a video of him donating to the homeless shelter. So I posted that up on the YouTube, but I didn't post his catch video. So that was one guy I gave him a second chance just because he was really young. And then the second guy, he was like in his early 20s, but this guy, he what's it called? He was schizophrenic. He was
Hmm.
schizophrenic. Like
Okay.
he wasn't all there. Like he wasn't like thinking and then when I confronted him too, he was totally tripped out. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm never gonna do this." He was like literally crying when I confronted him. He was crying. And then he was super scared. And I'm like, where do you even stay at? Do you live with your parents or your mom? And he's like, no, I live like a mental house. So he
Whoa.
came from a mental house to meet up with a minor, and I felt bad for him because he was actually crying. He was like
Yeah.
crying his eyes out. He's like,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm never gonna do this. I'm like, okay, like I just felt bad because especially if you know what schizophrenia is and what
Of
it
course, yeah. I've seen it in front of me like a few years ago, actually. It was, and not to cut you off, just real quick. Now that you asked,
Mhm.
it was actually a girl, which I mean, wherever she's at, hopefully she's still alive, and God bless her soul. But she had an attraction for me, and the first time I met her, she actually had one of those schizophrenic, like, what do you call it, episodes, if you will.
Panic attacks.
Yeah. And I felt so bad. I did everything to like help her because she had like bruised like a knee or something like that. And I was with my mom at the bookstore that we used to have, like, back in PR. And my mom was taking care of her, like cleaning up her wound or whatever. And right around the same time, like she had that attack. And it was intense, man. Like I didn't know what to do. I was way younger back then, and I that's like the first time I had seen it in front of me. And then her mother shows up and like explains everything, like, "No, you don't understand." But go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. Go ahead.
No, bro, it's all yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what it was. So the guy he had schizophrenia, so I felt bad for him. I just never posted his video. So I do hope that he's getting the help that he needs and he's back in the mental house or wherever he's from. So those are the two videos that I just never posted.
All right. Now, and I'm guessing this might correlate to what you just explained to us, but who was like the saddest, in your opinion, or most emotional catch, on both ends, whether it be the person attempting the whole situation, or yourself, like which was like the one that caused you the most emotion to like damn. what's going on here? Like, why are you doing this? Like the saddest one that you had.
Yeah, it was a schizophrenic guy.
That's the one. Yeah, I imagined. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the other people, just, like some of them are they're not smart. Like you can tell they're socially awkward, or they're not smart, or they're just weird. But this guy was actually like mental, and I
Hmm.
felt bad for him. I was like,
That's crazy.
so I just never posted
All right. Finishing this set of questions on a brighter note. Who
it.
was who was the who was the funniest catch you've had thus far? Like the one that you like, is this really happening right now? The way that it's happening with this guy? Like, is this really going down the way you thought it was gonna go down? Like, what's the funniest catch or confrontation you've had thus far?
Oh man, there was two catches that was really. It was like it was damn. It was funny. Or no, three catches. Three catches. The one guy that was really funny to me was the Cornholio fire captain. This guy, he was a fire captain, bro. He was literally a retired fire captain. He comes out for a little boy, and when I confront him, he didn't even know what to do. He was shook. Like he was that was the last thing he was expecting was CC unit catching him. So he was there, and the to make it even worse for him, it was number 100 catch or number 100. It was like number 100 on 100. It was like one of the milestone catches. So what I did was I dropped the location for the catch, and like 100 supporters showed up.
Oh my goodness, yo! I, and I
And
think I shared that video today with somebody, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, and
Oh
he
my
this
goodness.
guy would pull up his shirt over his head
Yep.
and look like the core because he was trying to cover his face. He was
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
So he looked like Cornholio, and he was just go around like an old man.
Like,
He looked like Beavis or like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like one of those two. And it was so hilarious. It was so hilarious seeing him running around as an old man with like a shirt over his head. It was hilarious. And then another one was Juan. It was kind of like a more recent catch. The bathroom guy, he was crying and like he called the cops on himself, and he was like hyperventilating and stuff. It was a funny catch.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. So, and my bad, bro. If it feels like I'm trying to cut you off, it's because I
No,
am
oh, good, bro.
somewhat trying to race through some of these questions because some of them are like really necessary questions.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna do my best to like speed it up a little bit. Was there any catch where you genuinely had to like physically hold back from like wanting to hit the person involved in the confrontation, or have you always had that self discipline of like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna let the you know police take care of him or whatever. Or
Yeah.
have you had a catch where you're like,
Yeah, there's a few of them. There was actually one catch where I did defend myself. Um, it was like this cholo Mexican guy. He 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 was in Los Angeles, the Lincoln Heights, Los Angeles, in like a really ghetto area. And
oh god,
he was wearing a chain. He was had tattoos all over him. He was on parole for some other charges. He was like one of those felons. Like if you think of a convict,
mm-hmm.
he's
Mm-hmm.
coming up on your image of mind. He's a convict. So
Gotcha.
he tells the decoy, come to this area, come to this sketched out like alleyway. And he's parked in his car. So I go up to his window and I have my phone out and I tell him to get out of the car. Get out of the car. And he steps out of the car. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I messed up. I messed up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you want to talk? He's like, are you cops? And I'm like, no, I'm not cop. He goes and sits back and he gets he gets like this attitude again. He's like, oh, okay, you're not cops, so who are you?
Right,
So,
right, 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 right.
so he sits back in his car and I keep filming him and he tries to hit the camera out of my hand, and that's when I lose it. He like hits my hand, but he doesn't hit my camera because he tried to. So that's when I defended myself. He hit my hand, so I was like, you know what? I need to defend myself here. So I was like, what?
This actually comes to mind. Ghost has a jab like lightning.
yeah, yeah, I hit him, and he like his head bounced to like like the other side. He was like leaning on the passenger seat because he was about to fall off. Like I
Nice.
swear, bro, he was like out for like a second or two. He was like knocked out.
Nice.
And then he woke back up and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he starts hitting the pedal to the metal and he got out of there.
And that's a convict for you. Anyways, do you and if you do, how do you like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically prepare before going out there on the field and doing what you do, bro?
How do I mean, now it's kind of like another day to me because I've done it so many times. It's just like I can go do a catch right now, but I'm just tired. Um, it's more of like, oh, I'm tired, dude, and I need to have like I need to be like, I need to have energy for me to do it. That's the only thing.
Meaning like eat. Once you eat, you're good to go.
Yeah, if I'm full, and I feel good, and I'm like, I have to be ready in case of a fight breaks out, or if I need to run after him.
True, true, true.
The only things that I need to be ready for.
Nice. All right. How many Preds do you know or feel are a product of the same crime they are committing, if any, or not? Like, how many of them do you think, like, because I know some of them said, well, it was done to me or whatever. Like, how many of those do you think are genuine about that versus they're just being a-holes and just doing it just because they want to do it?
I mean, are you saying they pretend to be victims or
Right. Either they pretend to be victims, or maybe they really were, victims. Like, how many do you think really were victims and are just a product of like, well, it was done to me, so now I'm gonna do it to somebody else. How many of those do you think is legitimate, stories behind some of those people?
I would say maybe like 30%, 30% of them are real victims, I would say, but 70% I would say like they're just saying it just to get some sympathy or get some, sorrow or, just to get some play like manipulation. So
All right, that makes sense. And that sucks, but I mean, it's the reality, especially if it's coming from you and you've experienced, all these catches and what I'm saying, can't believe it, but it must be true. Um, how many of these catchers have reached out to you afterwards, and said, "Hey, man, like I messed up. I want to turn my life around." Besides the guy you mentioned earlier, of course, but how many others at least reached out to you, and at some point, genuinely, to your understanding, were like very remorseful and said, "I want to try to like change my life around or whatever. Like, what can I do?" How many of them do that?
the none on like there's been people that reach out to me like the two most recent ones is the baseball coach. I told him to go get some help, and he's like, okay, I'll go get some help, and then he tells me he's like, okay, send me a link to resources. I send him a link, and then I tell him keep me updated on what happens, and he reads the message and he doesn't reply. And then I'm like, okay, maybe it's the weekend and maybe like businesses are closed or whatever, and I need to wait till Monday. Monday comes around, nothing. And he reads my message. He's like leaving me on red. So yeah, all of them really say, all of them just try to say that just so I guess make it like they think that just because if they try to get help, I won't post their video.
Mhm.
So that's how it is, man. A lot of them, yeah, they just say, "Oh, I'll go get some help," and they never do.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're all
notice.
POSs.
All right. So because we're almost at the 2 hour mark, I'm gonna say like one or ask two more questions and just save the rest for another time. And so we could get some of the questions from the people that are in here in. All right.
Yeah, yeah, I can take like a two or three from the viewers.
Got you. Got you. I'm gonna let you decide on that. All right.
Okay.
So, in your opinion, what is the best way to help these criminals, if there is any way of helping at all? Like, what do you think is the best option for them to get them help?
Dude, they need to be chemically castrated, man. Honestly, like I feel like that's the only way. Because it's like an urge to them. Once they have that urge, they can't help. They can maintain it, but they can like cure it. So I would say like the chemical castration, because it's a messed up thing in their mind. Their mind's messed up. So you need to fix that imbalance in their body. So
Nice. I think you're not the only one who said that. So I mean, I guess there is something to that, and it's in a way, it's like, yeah, you're helping them, you're helping people around them or whatever, and at the same time, you're not going to the extreme and saying, oh, off the guy or whatever, you know. So that's very noble of you, man. Um, do you say, having said that, do you believe there's any hope at all in helping or saving any of them from themselves and what they're trying to do out there?
I would say the younger one, like an 18-year-old, there might be some hope. 18, 19-year old, maybe even 20-year old, there might be some help. Um, but the older ones, no way. There's no there's no way. The older ones, like once you're past like 30, I feel like you're done, dude. There's no way.
All right. So I guess in that sense, it's like if you've already gotten to that age and you still haven't taken care of that from you know what I'm saying? It's like if you let it go that far into your age and you still have not been able to like help yourself with that situation, then it's really maybe not impossible entirely, but it's extremely, extremely like difficult to like help you if you haven't tried to help yourself up until that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair
Exactly.
enough. All right. So for now, that's all I'm going to ask. I have a bunch of other questions concerning the police and laws and all this other stuff that I know you might want to answer yourself. But I'm gonna save that for another occasion. So I guess this is the part one, and then at some other time we'll have a part two, and we'll have a great time again. But I do want to give this moment to the viewers. All right, I'm gonna let Ghost decide how many questions or how long he wants to answer your questions for. But now is the time. If you put your questions on a piece of paper and you want him to answer those questions, go ahead and start asking those questions right now. Because from this point forward, up until Go says, okay, up until here, no more, then that's what we'll call it a night. Okay. So start typing your questions in, and we'll see if oh my goodness, I'm not gonna say that one. I want serious questions, guys. I
You
don't.
can take the questions, JDQ.
All right, cool.
I have faith in you, man.
Um. Okay, so I guess I'll this part question, part comment. She says, "You said you were studying and deep into math and science. My question is, what are your future goals as far as a career?"
Something in the medical field for sure.
All right,
And thank you for your support, Trisha.
nice. Mastery asks, "When do you think that attraction or that the attraction for children begins in one's development for the predators and pedophiles?"
Oh man, I don't know, man. I feel like every creep's different. Every creep is different, but I feel like it builds like in an early age, maybe even in their teenage years. I would say
All right. David Cox says, "Should they be castrated, like literally castrated, or chemically castrated, and like what you said earlier? Which one is better?"
either one. I would say either one works. Yeah, either one. Thank you, David, and I like your dog photo.
All right. All right, here we go. That's a good one. Well, what happened to the creep that had tattoos on his arms? He caught in Fourth of July.
Oh, I posted up his video. We contacted his job, and the job never replied or responded. And he lived in Vegas or Las Vegas, so I'm not from there. But we did the best we could. We contacted the job and exposed him. So, but I have no updates on him.
Nice. Jenny T asks, "What do your parents think of what you do?"
They think, obviously I do a good thing, but they want me to be safe and they want me to, be careful of the dangers. So,
Nice. Emily Rose asks, Ghost, will you ever do some catches in New York, like the suburbs?
Oh, yes, yes, I'm gonna come to New York for sure one day. I need to go to the Big Apple one day for sure. We'll go.
All right. What about Target 10 Jobber says, do you get annoyed when cops tell you and others not to catch creeps?
No, no, it doesn't annoy me because I understand why they have to say it. It's a part of their protocol. If they say, "Oh, go ahead and catch creeps," it looks like anyone can go do it, and then you don't want an idiot to go do it. Because if police are saying, "Oh yes, you're doing a great job. Go, thank you so much. I encourage you to, go do it. Tell other people to do it." No, it would look really bad on them. So that I understand why they say they don't want everyone to do it because there's some idiots that go try to go do it and it just messes it up for everyone who
Hmm.
does it the correct way. So
Agreed with that one. Constantine says, do you think EDP catch was worth it, even with all the crap that came with it?
yeah, we got him we exposed him. Everybody knows about him. He got exposed. He's done. Like, what is he gonna do now? All he's doing is talking crap on the internet. That's it.
Hmm.
What is he doing now? I don't. Does he even have his website up? I don't know. So
I
yeah,
didn't, I didn't even know about the guy until you guys caught him, to be honest with you.
yeah. I mean, me too. I didn't even know about him that much. Like I've heard people have told me, "Oh, CCU, can you look into this guy EDP?" And I was like, "Who the heck is this guy? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know who he is." But yeah.
Kodiak says, Ghost, what's your most memorable catch?
One of them was in Los Angeles where we caught this like crystal meth head, and he came out for a 4-year-old, and it was a terrible catch. It was a really bad guy. It was one of the worst. So
Ferry
uh,
Driver says,
I'll take like two more
two more after this one that's on screen, or
after this one, two more.
okay. Ferry Driver says, Ghost, ever consider coming back to the Bay?
Yes, yes, we'll be in San Francisco maybe maybe this month. I don't know. I don't want to give away any secrets.
All right. Let's keep that a secret for now. All right. So this is first to last question here from Hime or Heim. Ghost, have you ever taken the Myers Briggs personality test?
No, no, I haven't.
You're gonna have
I-
to go look into that. All right, and here's the last one from Mama Bear. Do you ever post your chat logs?
I used to. I used to post the chat logs, but not anymore, just because I don't want to jeopardize future operations. Um, yeah, I don't want to jeopardize future operations. Ghost come to Connecticut and collab with Nito. I'll hook it up. That's my boy. Hey, I don't know why Nito doesn't really like me, but it is what it is. I don't have any beef with the man. I actually really respect what he does. I love the way he does it too. He does it the correct way. He's a true OG catcher, and I respect him. He's like he did it before me, and he was one of the ones who did it correctly, and I respect that. So
Yep. Agreed, agreed. All right. So as far as questions go and all that good stuff, that's it for tonight. Ghost has to go. He's got things he has to do, and I respect that. I respect the man. I respect your time. So we'll leave this as part one, and we'll do a part two whenever you're good to go on your end. All right,
thank
bro. Thanks for being on here. I'm truly honored. I mean, I would cry, but I don't want to come off as that guy from Bedazzled that's like too sensitive, like oh the sun. But I truly am honored, and I'm very grateful that you were on here, bro. Anything that you want to say before you go?
thank you, bro. Yeah, yeah. Like I just want to say, everybody, stay safe, be safe, stay positive, and do the right thing. Be a good human being, and be a good positive impact on society. And stay close to your loved ones because they're not always going to be there for you once not forever. And yeah, man, thank you everybody for having me, and thank you JDQ for having me. We'll definitely do a part two maybe down the line, maybe a year from now, maybe.
Man, boy, it better not be a year from now.
All right, so what day is it? All right, so I'll see you July 31st, 2022, JDQ.
Man, get out of here, bro. Listen. I'm a very patient man. Okay, but come on now, come on. You can't do a brother like that. That's a whole nother year, and they're saying Christmas edition. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Thanksgiving. I like it.
Yeah, and we could, like do like a whole thing where like thanking all the catchers and all that. We'll make it into a thing. We'll make it work. But thanks, bro. Hey, once again, I know I say thank you a lot, but it's
Yeah,
because I truly am grateful.
thank you, bro. Same here, man. Hey, bro. Thank you so much for having me once again. Stay blessed. Hit me up anytime.
Yes.
I'm always here, bro. Thank you, everybody, for watching and support your boy JDQ. He's a good guy. And yeah, bro. Everybody, stay safe out there. Peace.
All right, bro. Peace out, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that went phenomenal, in my opinion. Now, mind you, that was only doing like maybe half of the questionnaire that I have already like prepped over here. All right, we really didn't even get into like the the really deep questions concerning law enforcement, concerning the laws, concerning the DA, concerning how well the cops work with the predator catchers and all that. But I guess we'll leave it for part two, which, as much as this was worth it, this was worth the wait for sure. But if this was worth the wait and it was only half of the questions that I have for the guy, then imagine how much more it'll be worth it on this part two. Yeah, we'll definitely do a part two because I mean, I have to say this, man. The amount of questions I have on here, and they're very serious questions concerning parents, concerning sex trafficking rings and all that stuff. So you guys, I don't know, put it on your calendar, put it on your phone or whatever as a reminder. Part two coming soon or whatever, just so that you remember that if this was good, like for you and for me and for him, then imagine a part two where there's going to be a lot more serious questions. All right. So that being said, guys, if you guys want to support this channel and support what I do, when I bring on the catchers on here and have these interviews, and you guys have a great time on here, you guys get to ask questions yourselves. Um, please consider helping the channel. All right, there's links that the mods shared earlier. If you guys want to help me out personally, all right, there's things that I can like change. I could actually, with a little help, I could actually pay for like the StreamYard thing where it won't say powered by StreamYard or whatever. That goes to like into like a monthly payment, which if you've noticed, I've had to put back up because I have not been able to like invest into that. If you just want to help a brother out and help push this channel forward, then you don't have to. But if you can and want to, there's some links that the moderators could. I'm not going to put them up on the screen because that's not really the main concern here. But they're in the chat area if you're wanting to help me and the channel move forward. All right. And definitely, yeah, this right over here. If you guys have not gone to, actually, Jen, if I'm not mistaken, now it's just jdqjustdon'tquit.com. So if you guys go to jdq justdon'tquit.com, there's a merch store, that if you guys want to like wear something, in memory of, like the channel and like help get the channel out there or whatever, help get the channel more exposure, then definitely do it that way. If you wanted to help me more directly, all right, more directly, because yeah, super chats are great and all that, but nobody gets their super chat donations until like the end of the month. So if you want to help me out more directly, there's a Cash App right there, and there's a PayPal somewhere in the links. So that's if you can and want to. You don't have to. If you've already paid your bills, you already have food on the table, you've already fed your kids, you have food in the fridge, and you have something left over and you feel like you want to bless me or this channel, that's the most direct way to do it right there in the Cash App or the PayPal link. All right. So anyways, that being said, y'all, I think that was a great interview. I think it was really good. And I think part two is going to be even better. So you want to stay tuned in for that. All right. Your boy JDQ is hungry himself. All right. I ate before the interview, but I'm still, for whatever reason, like really hungry. So I'm going to let you guys go little by little. If you guys have any questions for me right now, you can go ahead and do so. And if you have not subscribed to this channel or my other channel, Vision Eye View TV on YouTube, you could go ahead and do that too. All right. The second channel that I have is for like another type of podcast altogether. It's separate from the whole predator catching thing. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about faith, conspiracy theories, and all that stuff. So that's Vision Eye View TV. Right. Yeah, always, always, always. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I hope I pronounced your username earlier how it's supposed to be pronounced. I hope I didn't butcher it. Anyways, that being said, y'all, I love every single one of you guys. I really do appreciate the love and support that you guys always bring to the table. I'm always forever going to be grateful for every single one of you guys. I really mean that. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking because I talk too much sometimes. But I love you guys. I value every single one of you and all of the support, the encouraging words you guys send me through Instagram and all that. God bless every single one of you guys. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe. Stay blessed. And oh my goodness, you guys are funny. Yeah. Anthony L says, thank you for not contributing to the legal fees. I look forward to my JDQ limited edition COVID-19 testing kit. Anyways, good night, y'all. God bless y'all. All right. Love y'all. And until next time, which I don't know when that's going to be, but until next time, I love y'all. Stay safe and blessed. And blessings to every single one of you guys. Check out the links, please. I'll appreciate it if you can. Yes. Thank you, Emily Rose. I appreciate that. Good night, everyone. Love y'all. And until next time, peace out.